We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. If you need any further evidence that we are living in the Great Awakening and all things are possible, check out Michael Rapaport. Michael Rapaport is this Trump-deranged lib. We've dunked on him a bunch on this channel. And lo and behold, an interview drops down from the heavens of the guy saying, oh yeah, I think I'm going to vote for Trump now. What? I'd never vote for Biden. Huh?
My political views have changed immensely, and they're changing at a rapid pace. I will not vote for Joe Biden. At this point, when we're doing this interview, voting for Trump is on the table. People are like, what are you talking about? That's my reality. I will not support anybody who's anti-Israel. I will not support anybody that is anti-making America safe, that is cool with the fact that it takes you 2 minutes to cross the border. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with police officers in the greatest city on earth getting beaten up. You're a legal immigrant, and then you have no bail. I'm not down with...
And flipping off the camera.
Flipping off the camera. I'm not down with going into a Costco or a 7-Eleven, cleaning out the spot. So any of these people that support it, I'm not voting for them.
Goddamn right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I'm okay with it, right? Read Sun Tzu's Art of War. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Like, that's okay. I'm called to forgive, and I don't care if I've done a bunch of like videos about how dumb Michael Rapaport is. Like, if you still have a functional brainstem and you are able to ascertain the information around you and say that the political party, the Democrat political party, is now a metastasized Marxist structure that is dead set on destroying the great cities of America, the population of America. It's dead set on destroying our judicial system, our election integrity, and safety and security in this country. And you can, like, you still have a functional brain, like you still have brain waves that go, oh, well, this is bad, actually. Then dude, you're my friend, okay? We can argue the little things later. We have to save our civilization, right? Stephen A. Smith is one of those guys who, like, we've dunked on Stephen A. Smith and, like, said what a silly person, what an insane rant or monologue the guys had done. And now seeing Stephen A. Smith mature and take a giant red pill, black pill, white pill on air all at the same time. And Morpheus is like, you took them all? Yeah, I took all the pills. It's incredible to watch what this dude's doing. All right. Stephen A. Smith does a better job articulating pro-Trump message than most Trump surrogates on TV. And he's not even a Trump supporter, although he does say that he'd be willing to vote for Donald Trump. We should be very thankful that he's emerged in a time like this. This is obviously a big-time pro-Trump account popping this up. Now, what happened here? What happened was CNN set up Stephen A. Smith and said, here's a video of Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton saying that there really shouldn't even be an election, that Joe Biden's a done deal, and we shouldn't have an election, which, remember, their side is protecting democracy. And Stephen A. Smith's like, how'd that work out for Hillary last time?
Clinton is getting a little candid. She sat down with the Tonight Show's Jimmy Fallon, and the former presidential candidate had a pretty blunt message for voters who are disappointed with a likely matchup between Donald Trump and Joe Biden this November.
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And
good.
You know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies.
By
People
you.
who blow that off are not.
By broken court systems that are utterly rigged against Donald Trump. Yeah. So great job. But again, we should learn from their playbook, right? Turnabout, fair
paying
play.
attention, because it's not like Trump, his enablers, his empowerers, his allies are not telling us what they want to do. I mean, they're pretty clear about what kind of country they want.
Yeah.
Joining me now is Stephen A. Smith. He's the host of ESPN's
Listen
First
to this.
Take and the Stephen A. Smith Show on
Listen,
YouTube.
you're gonna love this.
Stephen, great to have you on set. So what do you make of that? Get over it?
I don't think it was a very wise statement on her part. How did that work out for her in 2016? I think that's something that we have to recognize. Yes, she won the popular vote, but at the end of the day, she wasn't the president of the United States. It was him. You can look at her not campaigning in Wisconsin in the last days, not campaigning in Pennsylvania in the last days. You can look at some of the stuff that they were saying about her that sort of distracted things from where it should have been in terms of Comey and his report from the FBI. You can bring up a whole bunch of things, but at the end of the day, the last thing you need to do is to do anything that could agitate a potential voter in this particular election.
What do you make about the actual argument that she's making? I mean, she's basically saying,
You can always tell when somebody's lying or uncomfortable. You can hear in the DNC paid for apparatchik reporter's mouth. You can hear the she's like uncomfortable, right? You can always tell. There's always a tell, right? She's freaking out that this is happening on CNN airwaves right now. She probably got a producer in her ear being like, defend Hillary, defend Queen, defend our Queen, please.
two old people, yes.
Yes.
But they're substantively different. I mean, Trump
Absolutely.
has
Well,
91 counts against him.
Well,
and
listen,
if you're
nobody's
not-
brought that up more than me. Four indictments, 91 counts, impeached twice. I'm not voting for him. I've said that to a lot of people. I've said that to you. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that at some point in time, you got to take into account what the voters thinking about. The voters, a lot of them out there, tens of millions of them out there, by the way, don't care what he's going through right now. They don't care about his guilt or innocence, his perceived guilt or innocence. They don't care about the 91 counts. They're thinking about their lives. And a lot of times we see politicians taking the positions that they're taking, and while we can respect their candor and their honesty, they do seem a bit detached at times from what the voters are actually feeling and what the voters are actually thinking. Nobody wants to hear that from Hillary Rodham Clinton at this particular moment in time, because especially if you're Joe Biden, what are you really worried about right now? You're worried about folks coming to the polls. You're worried about them showing up to the polls to vote for you. You're not worried even about them voting for Trump. You're worried about them not showing up to vote for you. That doesn't exactly encourage them to get up out of their seats and go to the polls.
I mean,
So Stephen A. Smith making a more cogent argument on behalf of why people are voting for Trump than a lot of Trump supporters do on TV. And Trump supporters aren't allowed on TV, right? And so that's fine. Quite frankly, like, who has the time? But and you would never get a fair interview anyway. You have that. Yeah, right? Like, this really is an amazing moment. When pressed on this issue, like, why wouldn't black people vote for Joe Biden? Stephen A. Smith just went ham.
Talking about an election. You're talking about whatever it's going to take to win. You have a whole bunch of American citizens who firmly believe that what he's saying is the reality in their eyes. They look at footage, they look at things that are transpiring over the television airwaves, the kind of things that are being disseminated to the masses, and they're literally scared. You have people talking about there's an immigration crisis, and they're showing one piece of footage after another after another. I can tell you, as a black man from Hollis, Queens, New York City, I have never in my lifetime heard black folks allude to there being an immigration crisis more than now. Evidently, it's working. You know that it's working with an abundance of white
do you
Americans.
think that this is a message that actually right now, I know that it's intended to resonate with black voters, but you think it's actually working?
Absolutely. And let me tell you something right now. I've got a lot of Hispanic friends, brothers and sisters in the Latino community. They're talking about it because they came over here legally. They didn't come across, America's lines illegally. And as a result, they're talking about it's an immigration crisis. They're talking about how people need to get in line. They're talking about how people need to come in here legally. They're saying that about their own folks. And so when you take that into consideration, and then you're looking at black folks who have been speaking about it, and then you think about inflation, and you think about immigration, and you think about New York City and the $53 million prepaid cards and what have you, black folks will sit back and say, wait a minute, what about us? What about us? Once again, we're at the bottom of the food chain. Whether it's xenophobia, it's homophobia, it's transphobia, or anything else, everything seems to be more important than black people in the eyes of a lot of black people. And when you've got somebody like Trump He's reminding everybody what he said years ago. What do you have to lose? Excuse me, that kind of stuff resonates with some. Maybe not me, maybe not you, but there's a whole bunch of people out there in the streets of America that's hard working, that's going to work every day, that's trying to make ends meet, pay their bills and what have you. That stuff resonates with them, and they don't want to see anything distracting anybody from their problems. And when you go to the polls, what do you think about? You think about what affects you, not what affects America far more often than not.
Yeah, so what does that look like in practice? Right? Stephen A. Smith mentioned that he's from a predominantly black area of the country in Harlem. How about South Side of Chicago? South Side of Chicago say that if Democrats think they're going to have a peaceful convention, stay tuned. Residents literally threatening the DNC over criminal immigration into Chicago. Look at the people showing up to scream and to protest against the city of Chicago. I bet every single person here voted for Joe Biden. And they were literally red in the face, screaming about them trying to set up an illegal immigration migrant camp in the middle of the city. They're even suing the city of Chicago over that. When was the last time you saw that? Chicago hit by winds of change. Democrats flip on Brandon Johnson. He's the socialist mayor who just miraculously won in the city by mail-in ballots. Migrant crisis in the Windy City. They warn that Biden is going to turn Illinois purple, will no longer be a blue state because of the criminal migrant homeless shelters. Various people and activists inside of Chicago are now turning on the Democrat Party. Chicago's done with the migrant mess. We have a hard no for immigrants coming here, a very hard no. The locals are screaming out and calling out. They got one more time to deal with this because otherwise they're going to deal with it from the streets. Yikes. You get what you vote for. And that is what people are saying. These are clips that are going viral right now, ladies and gentlemen. While Stephen A. Smith is good, he is obviously a paid performer on TV. He's paid to go out and give his opinions. What about people that are just standing up and just having like local community podcasts? How about this from Chicago? Truth bomb explodes as man reveals who's truly to blame for the migrant crisis in Chicago. Turns out it's you, lady. Watch.
1980, which of course should have been changed a long time ago. So they bring them in. You wonder where the money coming from? They taking it, the COVID fund that was here, that money. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rent, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million out of our taxes to house and take care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of if they were here after August, they don't even qualify. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk. And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back.
I
got
a question for you. Who did you vote for?
First of all, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. I did.
Okay,
but here it is.
Hold on.
Wait,
that was the question.
Okay.
Now you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Okay, well, let me say, hold on. First of all,